This is CDM, Common Domain Model. Come on in, have a seat. I am Eleonora Acuña from the International Swaps and Derivatives Association. I recognize some familiar faces here. This is Lyteck Lynhiavu, my colleague. We have some pre-recorded videos for you, but we're going to try to make them a little more interactive. We'll provide some voiceover. They're also available online, and we can provide a link for you. So I guess one of the main reasons we have these videos is we want to show how the common domain model is actually quite easy to start with. You don't have to have any fancy tools or platforms or licenses. It's open source. It's in GitHub. You can use your well-known IDEs, IntelliJ, Eclipse, or other IDEs, VS Code, and get started quite quickly. If you have a Java background, you're going to be more comfortable. Also, we have different formats like JSON that you've seen before. So we're going to start with a simple example, how to create a simple CDM object, very basic, and then we're going to build on those in subsequent demos. So let's get started. Yeah. Okay, so in this first demo, we're going to show how to create a simple CDM object in Java. Obviously, I'm not coding right now, so you can see that's pre-recorded. We're only really going to have the short name ID, and then the sort of longer name and a name variable, and LEI as our sort of identifier for the legal entity. And this is Java, in case you haven't seen Java before. We're working in IntelliJ, and we're creating a party with this detail. Also, I should mention there's sort of the builder design pattern we're following here. And we're setting up the constructor methods here. Okay. So I can share that we can see CDM has a feature to specify metadata for the identifier added. And we're going to create the priority object and write it to a file. So that's what we're going to be doing, and use the serialization feature for JSON. So this is just the function for creating it. And then we're running that. And you can see the JSON here. So, very obvious, just a few nested values there that we have just created. Okay, that was the first demo. For our second demo, we're going to build on this, and we're going to validate the object we just created. So we're going to use a class called the Rosetta type validator, and Rosetta is actually a Rune DSL nowadays. So if you see Rosetta all sprinkled all over the code base, that's actually Rune DSL now. Okay, so in this demo, we're going to validate and print it just to the terminal, the output. I hope I'm not in the way here. Okay, so for this one, when we're using the validator class, we're basically validating the object based on specific data rules, cardinality, and the structure itself. This part is where we use some comparison tool, so built in, and then we're checking for, we're mapping as well. And it will do this for each item. Oh, okay. So when we run that, I think we could bring up the, oh yeah, we still have to sort of implement. So you're going to recognize this from the previous demo. There's a party object we just created. And we also have we're using Juice, Google Juice. If you haven't heard of that before, we're using that for injection. So we're able to generate sort of this. This is using the CDM runtime module. And that's the Rosetta type validator I mentioned earlier. It's the class that is used for validation of type. It will also check, like I said, cardinality and the general data structure. So this is the terminal output. We have success for these checks that we did earlier. We are able to see, sorry, yeah, the output there. I don't know if it's as clear as it could be, but yeah, in the recording, you're probably going to hear more detail here. So this is the first part, the cardinality I mentioned, and then the second part is I think is the type. So we're using the built-in tree viewer in IntelliJ to show you the sort of JSON there. This is, yeah. So that was the validation. We're also going to talk about more detailed products now. I'm going to hand over to Lyteck for an OTC product. So for those of you who have just joined, thank you for coming. We're in a set of pre-recorded videos. We're providing some voiceover just to make it a little more interactive. You can watch these videos yourself later and get started right away. The GitHub repository is open source. It's hosted at FINOS, and you can use your IDE of choice.
All right. Thank you, Eleonora. So in this example, indeed, we're going to increase the difficulty. So now we've shown how to create an object. We've seen how we could validate it. So now we're going to go to the next step of building a product using CDM and within Java. So what we have here, we have the use case is that we want to represent an OTC product, in this case, an FX forward, which is a contract between two banks. And we're supplying the ID, the LEI, and the name of the banks. And then this is going to be a trade between US dollar and euros. And here are the economic terms. And what we're doing over the next few lines of code is we're building the parties first, and this is similar to what has been done in the first demo. This demo is actually longer than the time that we have, and actually if you go to the website, to the ISDA YouTube channel, those videos actually have narration, so you will be able to follow the steps that are shown on the screen. But essentially, what we're going through is creating the different objects that form a product. So starting with parties, I'm just going to skip that. And then the next step is to specify a trade identifier. So we're creating those objects in the code. I'm just going to speed forward because there's a lot of content that we want to show. So here we are continuing to build the building blocks for the product. So we're creating a quantity schedule for US dollar and euros. So you'll see that. And I would just want to move slowly towards the end of the presentation. So here we're continuing to build, to create some cash flows. And at the end, we'll have a fully fledged product. So at this point, we have finished creating our product. So that's an FX product. And we're wrapping this into what's called a CDM contractual product. So we're specifying the economic terms that have been built. And at this point, we have, let me move towards the end. So here, the last step of the presentation is where we're going to output this product in a CDM JSON format. So that's the purpose of the instruction, and you're going to see how it is how it is represented in JSON format. So we're executing the code, and here what you have is the JSON representation of our product. So that's the presentation, that's the JSON, and on the right, that's just the built-in tree viewer for the tool. So now we've fully created a valid CDM OTC product with all the required data fields. Now in the next demo, so here we're just showing the different components that have been created. In the next demo, we're going to take this product and we're actually going to qualify it. So here the idea is that CDM allows you to create products out of building blocks. However, there's nowhere in CDM that says, okay, for FX forward, use this tag. So instead, what the approach of CDM is to use building blocks that are common across products. So those building blocks are cash flows, and afterwards you can qualify the product. And this is the purpose of this demonstration. So here, CDM includes what are called qualification functions, and we're going to use one to determine what this product is that we built in the previous demo. So we're going to run the qualification function, and this is the code to do it. And we're going to print to output that, and we're going to see the result. Let me speed up the presentation here. So again, at this point, we are not sure whether we've created an FX spot forward, and that's the purpose of this code. We're going to run the qualification function for FX spot forward and see if if it is indeed a product. So here what we've done is we are creating a contractual product that wraps the FX forward, and we are going to run the qualification function, and very shortly it will execute, and we'll see that that all the qualification functions in CDM have been called, and most of them have failed because this product that has been evaluated is not an equity swap, it's not an interest rate swap. So they have all failed, and there will be one that has passed, and that is the qualification function for the foreign exchange spot forward. So what that means is that using this qualification function, we have created, we have identified an FX spot forward. The second part of the video is essentially going a little further by determining what the ISDA taxonomy code is. So not only you can specify the type of product, the product itself, but you can also specify the exact taxonomy code, and this is the purpose of this bit here. And here, the code has identified that this FX forward product has an ISDA taxonomy code of foreign exchange spot forward. So that's another that's another qualifier for the product. So again, these demos have audio when you are using YouTube from your computers. We just don't have audio today. So the next demo, so that's demo number 5, and we do have 7 demos. So demo number 5 is about creating a report for regulators. So here our use case is that we are a bank, and we want to report to ESMA, and the reporting format for ESMA is ISO 20022. So, and we're going to go through the process of doing that. So first, we're going to create an ESMA EMEA transaction report, which is the structure in CDM that allows you to create the report, and we're going to fill it with the fields necessary for reporting. So we are in the original workflow step, and here we need to populate like different fields. So here what we have in this diagram is, on the right side, we have the product that we've created in the first use, in the last demo, and we're wrapping it into a workflow step, which is structure in CDM to create a business event. So this part is in the CDM, and in the rest of this rectangle, we're actually moving into DR. So we're taking the workflow step, but we have to enrich it with additional information, such as a surveillance field and whatnot. So this video is a little long, but I'm just going to skip through different areas to show you what is available. Okay, so here we have finished our code, and we are going to create a transaction report instruction using the FX forward that we've created. let us. So here you can see that the report has been generated in JSON format. So that said, JSON is not the input, that is not the report format that ESMA requires. So there's another step which needs to happen, which is the creation of the ISO 20022 format, which is an XML format that has been developed by ESMA. So we're going to. I'm just going to skip in the interest of time. So here in the next step, we are actually generating the
ISO 20022
the report in JSON format.
and you can see
So this is a fully valid CDM object that is ready to be converted into ISO 20022 message, and we have that towards the end of the at the end of this video here. So here the last step of this video is that we've created the ISO 20022 format, and we've validated. And we have 2 demos left, and Eleonora is going to discuss this.
Okay, thank you, Lyteck. So for the next 2 demos, we have a slightly different area to explore. In this one, we're basically showing that there is an extension in VS Code, if that is your IDE of choice, that will help with syntax highlighting, error detection that recognizes ruined DSL. So that doesn't come out of the box in VS Code, right? It may not recognize ruined DSL, but with this extension developed by a JP Morgan contributor and CDM maintainer,
in this quick walkthrough, we'll show you
we
how
can
to
now
install the Rosetta
see
plugin for
the
Visual Studio
syntax
Code and how it helps
more
with syntax
clearly, and we
highlighting, error
can
detection,
spot
and
errors.
auto-completion
So
for
in this
Rosetta DSL
video,
files.
I think we have a few
Let's install the
examples
plugin.
of how
Open the
that's going to
extensions panel
show.
located to the left of Visual Studio Code. From there, in the
So
search bar,
to install,
type in Rune
oh, the audio is coming through now.
DSL,
So the install, you
and
use
it should
extensions
be
panel that you
the
might be
first
familiar with
extension
in VS
in the
Code.
marketplace, authored by
It's right there.
Nicholas Moga. For demo purposes, we've already installed this plugin, but the install button will be located here. You select it and the extension will be installed onto Visual Studio Code. Now, let's look at a Rosetta file. You can go into the folder explorer here and open a Rosetta file. I have one
As
already
mentioned
open,
earlier,
so
so
let's
I
take
don't know
a
if you
look.
can hear it, but the
Immediately, we can
Rosetta
see the syntax
file
highlighting it
is
working,
actually ruined DSL.
where we have our functions clearly defined, and we also have parentheses and numbers clearly marked with comments marked in a different color as well. Let's show the auto-completion features. I'm going to write a few lines of ruined DSL and create a simple files. Let's install the plugin. Open the extensions panel. We've already installed this plugin, but the install button will be located here. Now, let's look at a Rosetta file. You can go into the folder explorer here and open a Rosetta file. I have one already open, so let's take a look. Immediately, we can see the syntax highlighting it working, where we have our functions clearly defined, and we also have parentheses and numbers clearly marked with comments marked in a different color as well. Let's show the auto-completion features. I'm going to write a few lines of ruined DSL and create a simple function for filtering cache transfers. The first thing to notice is the auto-completion suggesting intelligent choices and recognizing that ruined DSL uses func to create functions, and it's placed it at the top.
So before we had the plugin, this wouldn't show as
Let's
clearly.
look at how the extension identifies errors. Like most IDEs, if there's an error, the location in question will be underlined in red. Looking at the filter security transfers function, there are a couple of errors underlined in red. If we have a look at line 116 and line 120. Now let's take a look at the error. If I hover over the red line, we get a preview of the error message. And if I want, I can click and have it shown there. Now let's fix the errors. Hovering over the red underline, a window will pop up, previewing the error message. As we can see on line 116, the error here is the upper bound must be greater than the lower bound. And looking at line 120, there's a couple error messages. One, there's no attribute missing after the arrow, and an expression must evaluate to a Boolean. Let's fix the error at line 116 first. Simply to fix this, there's a cardinality constraint. So if we change this 0 to a 1, we'll see the Rune DSL extension has picked that up and removed the red underline. Similarly for 120, we don't need another attribute here. So if we remove this arrow, again, the Rune DSL extension will pick up that it now makes sense logically, and the errors are gone. That's how the Rosetta plugin helps you write better DSL code in Visual Studio. Thanks for watching.
Okay, so for our final demo, we're going to show a tool that lets you navigate the CDM. I actually was hoping maybe we do have a colleague here somewhere who helped build this demo. I can try to I can share some things. If you pause that demo, Lyteck, just briefly. Yeah. Okay. So first of all, in this object builder tool, you will see the version of the CDM currently being loaded into this web-based tool up here. We currently have 5 and 6 in production, and version 7 is in dev. Yeah, let's see if we can kick off the demo, and then I will fill in as needed. I do believe the audio is working.
Is a user interface that allows the user to create CDM collateral information using drop-down functions. They can create, import, and share objects or inspect them in JSON or tabular format.
I don't know. Would you rather I spoke CDM over? Is the audio good enough? Okay, so basically, it's a very, very simple tool where you have several root types showing here. In this case, we're looking at eligible collateral specification, and it lets you sort of navigate the nested tree and fill in values as you go. There are 2 tabs. This is the builder that we were looking at right now. Yeah, and I can also point you to this area here where you can import and export JSON objects. So if you already have something you want to view in this tool, then you can import it. And once you're done selecting, you can export it. There's in the second tab there, you also have a way of looking at this as a sort of tabular format or JSON output before you export. In case you did something wrong, you can go and edit and change it. This is also hosted at FINOS in part of the sandbox. And you can come to we have a booth in the other end of the hall. Lyteck and I are happy to show you the demos again in detail or other hands-on demo material if you want to see. I can show you the object builder in more detail as well. Yeah, thank you very much for coming. Yeah, any questions?
So you might have covered this in previous conversations, but is the CDM, is it meant to be like in ways or parts a data warehouse where you can just kind of load and everyone contributes for the product information, or is it a library where everything's just a common shape and you can depend on that shape and those those methods? Like, is it both, or?
I would say it's more of a data representation rather than a library. I guess you could see the dependencies that CDM uses as libraries. Lyteck, did you want to provide more color to that?
So CDM provides like the blueprints for financial products. So essentially, you have you can create models for OTC products, securities, bonds that have been agreed by the industry, and that you can reuse in your code. So there are like different programming language projections for the CDM. So from the model to your code, and using the same models ensures that everyone's like products are modeled the same way, as well as not only the products but also like the workflows and business events. Just a final point. So those videos are online on the ISDA website as well as on the FINOS website. And here the whole point of this presentation was to show you that there are tools that you are familiar with that can process, that you can use to process, to use a CDM. Thank you.